Hi there, this is Phil Simborg from the Backgammon Learning Center, www.backgammonlearningscenter.com, where we have 25 top professional teachers, including some of the best players in the world, standing by ready to coach you. What you're looking at is a picture of my P40 backgammon board, www.p40bg.com. I think it's the best backgammon board for the money in the world. And I'm set up at the beautiful Baccarat Hotel in New York, where I played last week. A great setting for backgammon. Backgammon should be a classy game, and you should have a classy board. That's enough ads. Today I'm going to give you a quiz. 7 problems that either I missed or wasn't quite sure of, or somebody I was playing who was a good player missed, and you can see how well you do. I'm always interested in your comments and how well you do. Let's see how you do on this quiz. Okay, let's start right out with, this is an easy one, opening 3-2, that's not the quiz. Here's the first problem. It is a money game. Many of these did happen in matches, but I converted them to money play to make it more generic, let's say, and not complicate things with the score. Okay, you're white, and you have a 6-3 to play. Cube is in the middle. You can pause the video if you need more time before I show you the answer. Well, I have to admit I got this play wrong. You can see there are quite a few options here. You can make the bar point. You can clear the 16 point. You can hit. I don't think there's any other real viable options besides that. So the right answer, I'll just hit plus plus. By the way, this is Extreme Gammon, the very best backgammon software in the world, which I'm proud to say I helped develop and market. And you can get this at www.extremegammon.com. It'll tell you the right play. It plays better than any human in the world. And the right play here is to make the bar. I did clear the 16 point, which was a blunder. And the structure here is very good. Of course, if he hits you with a 6, you're not happy. But this is just beautiful structure, and especially when your opponent has 2 checkers on the ace point, that 7 point is very, very valuable. And I should have seen this, and I missed it. Let me know how you did. Okay, let's go to number 2. Pretty common early game position. White has a 4-1 to play. Obviously, only 2 real viable options here. You make the 21 point, or you come in on the 24 and you hit off the 9. And I would have gotten this one right, but my opponent got it wrong. Okay, drum roll. The answer, make the point. Quite often in the early game you want to hit and you have more checkers back, but one of the main reasons I didn't hit is it totally strips the midpoint, the 13 point, by leaving you down to 2 checkers there. I think if there was a 4th checker there, the hit would probably make a lot of sense. Let's check it. Let's take a checker and put it here and see if the hit becomes right. It's real close now. Maybe if we had a checker from the 6 point, it'd be closer. No, it's still real close, but slightly better to make that anchor. You make the high anchor, you're in the game forever. And hitting doesn't hurt him that bad in the early game when he's going to come in every time, and it actually might even help him make a high anchor in your game. Okay, go to number 3. These are tricky. White is holding the cube, money game, you're in a back game, and you have a 3-1 to play. This is really tricky. What is your play? I got this right, but I certainly wasn't sure. I don't think there's much doubt about the 3. It's 8-5. Are you going to play 24-23 or 23-22? Or play 5-4? You really only have three choices here. All right. I wasn't sure of this play, and it wasn't my play, so I can't tell you for sure I would have gotten it right over the board. But it's hugely right to play 24-23 and play a 2-3 back game. Your timing is very suspect here. It is tempting to play 23-22 so you can pop out with a checker. But you just take away a lot of his offense by making the 23 point as well. And you can see that you save some gammons that way, and you also win the game more. So it's a much stronger situation. You hope you roll a 6, a 1, or a 2 next time to come off the 24. These are very, very tough plays. I didn't bother to roll it out because it was such a big difference. It shows it as a blunder, but a lot of these plays I will take the time to roll out, especially back game plays, because I don't entirely trust extreme gammon without a rollout on some of these back game plays. All right, number 4. All right, the 3 is forced. You're going to come in on the 22. You have a 4 to play. And I was clueless. I really wasn't sure what to do here at all. Again, pause the video if you need more time. What's your play? I was actually surprised to see this answer. You come out to the 18. I was debating whether to bring the 8 in or the 7 in to get hit back less, but getting hit back is not your major concern. That would actually give you more timing to get hit, and you want maximum ability to go forward. If he dances, there's 16 rolls where he doesn't come in, and you've got a hell of a game all of a sudden if he doesn't come in, or if he comes in with something bad. And yeah, you're giving him a good 6, but he's got a good 6 anyway. So that's the play here, and I've got to play with this for a while to really understand this play better myself. I must tell you, these are very, very tough plays. I wonder how many people got this right. Okay, number 5. This is a cube action problem. It is a money game again, and blue is on roll. And the question is, should blue double? And if blue doubles, should white take or pass? The pip count is shown for you. Blue is 88 to 106. Blue is winning by 18 pips. So the question is that good enough to double here? And the question is, does white have a take or pass? What do you think? Okay, this is pretty close to a reference position for me. I know I'm always taking these cubes. There's enough shot vig and there's very small gammon risks, so I'm always going to take this. As you can see, the gammon risk is only 1.3% for white, and even wins gammons close to 1%. So it's like no gammons here. And when you don't have any gammons and you think you have some chances to get a shot, you usually have enough to take. And blue absolutely has to double because, number 1, you're going to get a lot of passes here. And number 2, you lose your market, which is a key thing. If you clear the 10 point, for example, and roll any good number that clears the 10 point, you probably have lost your market unless white rolls double 6 or something like that. There's a feature called dice distribution that it will help you a lot. You'll see that in addition to a lot of really good rolls that clear the 10 point or give you a very smooth bear in, you also don't have anything really horrible. Your worst roll doesn't leave a shot and just leaves you with gaps. So you have such an incredibly good chance of losing your market and no real anti-joker roll that's going to kill you. You can play everything without a shot. uh, that's a very strong reason to give the cube. Okay, let's move on. Number 6. I love these prime versus prime situations. What's happened here is that white had doubled blue, and then blue has turned things around some. And he is on the bar. He's holding a 2 cube. It's a money game. This is a recube situation. So should blue redouble? And if blue redoubles, should white take or pass? I almost always get these right. I'm proud to say that I had some really good coaching from Stick and John O'Hagan and Perry on prime versus prime games, and these are pretty simple for me on the cube action. The checker play is another question. They can get very tough in prime versus prime games. All right, so if you're blue, are you redoubling here? If you're white, would you take or pass? I always start out by asking if I would take or pass. I believe Woolsey's Law is one of the greatest inventions and ideas and concepts in the game. Okay, we know all normal prime versus primes are takes. That's Stick's Law. And we know O'Hagan's Law says you need to have at least 9 market losers on an initial cube in a money game. And on a recube, you better have 10 or 11 market losers. You really don't have that many market losers. Blue has to roll a 6 and hit and not get hit back for it to be a pass. That's not very many market losers. And what happens if blue doesn't come in and white rolls a 6? Now, we have to look at the possibility of blue dancing and white not rolling a 6 and breaking, which happens a lot anyway. But when that happens, it's pretty shocking that white would still have a take. Take a look. Let's say that blue dances and white cracks. Now blue's on roll. It's still a huge take. So you don't lose your market in that sequence. So your only market losers is when you come in with a 6 and hit and don't get hit back. Or come in with a 6 and come out and he doesn't roll a 6. That's just nowhere near enough market losers to recube. Now, it wouldn't even be enough for an initial cube. Let's go back. Put the cube in the center. You don't have to have as many market losers for the cube in the center. It's going to be close now. It got closer. It's not as big a blunder to double, but it's still wrong. You just don't have enough market losers. But prime versus primes are takes, and then once you assume it's a take, you try to come up with market losers. That's the only reason to double when you know your opponent has a take, except for the human factor if you think you might get a pass. Okay, one more. White to play 6-2, again, money game. Blue's on the bar, blue has the cube. What would you do? Give it some thought. I wasn't 100% sure of the right play, but I did make the right play. Okay, well, obviously you can just run without hitting, play 24, 22, and then run, not hit so that you don't help his timing. Another theory would be to hit and slot the 9 point. Clearly, those are the two better plays. By hitting, you might think he doesn't have that good timing anyway, and by slotting the 9 point, you can make the prime, and he's not going to dance too often. He comes in 75% of the time. He only dances with 9 numbers. The shortcut that I always know is 3 numbers are covered. 3 times 3 is 9. There's 9 rolls where he doesn't come in. So it's really tough between those two plays, but I made the right play and didn't hit at all. I don't think the 9 point is that big a priority. Matter of fact, if he comes in and rolls a 6, I might do some trapping and recirculate. So the right play is to just come out without hitting. I did roll it out because, again, these are not something I completely trust Extreme Gammon on a normal evaluation. And you can see the hitting play is way down on the list. It's almost a double blunder. The second best play would be to just slot and come down but not hit. you really don't want to help his timing here. You don't want to give him more checkers back. And when you get to these kinds of positions, I agree that it can be tricky. There are times where you will hit too many and overtime your opponent. This is not one of them. And you do want him to crack. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. If you don't have Extreme Gammon, get it. I'll give one more little plug. Join the U.S. Backgammon Federation, usbgf.org, and that even if you're not a U.S. citizen, and even if you're a member of another federation, there are tremendous benefits to being a member of the U.S. Backgammon Federation. It doesn't cost much. It's an incredible magazine. I have over 250 videos that I've made for the membership free that cover many or most of the various aspects of the game. And you get discounts, and you'll be updated on tournaments and a lot of really great reasons to join the organization and to support the growth of the game. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy the video. Give me your comments. You can email me if you have any questions. phil@sim.org. It's my name, phil@simb.org. Look forward to hearing from you. And you can follow me on Facebook as well.